The law in this country stated, students who scored less than 20 points on a test would be killed. Students who scored above 95 could live in upscale communities and enjoy unique privileges. It's a world of grades. Mothers who raised scholars were honored with gold medals. Those with low grades lived in the slums, where there was not just the garbage, only garbage, but also a terrible stench. Everyone was forced to do hard labor. They would never get ahead. Scores were the ultimate value of a person. Mothers who cultivated perfect scoring academic prodigies were like gods. Everyone worshipped them. In her speech, she told everyone that the secret to raising a scholar was love and hard work. But when someone asked her how her daughter was doing academically, she was dumbfounded. It turned out her son was a student prodigy, but he was killed in a car accident. She went through an embryo transfer and gave birth to a new child, Lillian. But Lillian was a loser. Luckily, the host intervened to spare Lillian's mom from further questioning. Lillian and her mom left the conference hall. As soon as they left, they saw the children lining up, ready to receive improvement. This was a country where children with low test scores would be eliminated. The government deceived them by calling it improvement. At that moment, a woman came out. She said loudly, "Improvement means elimination. They're going to kill you." Chaos ensued. The children fled in all directions. Lillian's mom held Lillian tightly in her arms, but the scarf accidentally fell to the ground in the chaos. Lillian went to the restroom to wash her mom's scarf. A mysterious woman suddenly appeared. She gave Lillian a keychain and told her it could save her life. She also gave Lillian a warning: don't always listen to your mom. Then she left. Lillian was puzzled. Just after she washed her scarf and came out, she saw the news. A doctor named Harold Johnson was sentenced to death for protecting an underachiever, and his mom was stripped of her gold medal. She was exiled to the slums. Lillian looked at Mrs. Johnson on TV. It was the woman who gave her the keychain. Lillian wanted to tell her mom everything, but eventually, she kept it a secret. Lillian was a very obedient child. She studied hard, but her grades were never satisfactory. Her mom hired an experienced tutor for her, but her grades kept dropping. This mom murdered her child because her daughter had poor grades in school. That's when the light on the gold medal went out. She thought the power was out. The tutor told her, if Lillian's grades kept dropping, the lights on the medal would all go out. They would be kicked out of the villa area and live in a cage. Lillian's mom was so anxious. She was about to leave the house. She was afraid that people would see her medal. So, she took it off, but she didn't realize that the medal kept sounding an alarm. She could only put the medal back on and cover it with a scarf. When she returned to the villa, she saw a mother and her son evicted because of her son's poor academic performance. The mother was hysterical and didn't want to leave, but she was taken away by force. Lillian's mom was so scared and touched the medals on her body. Back home, Lillian's mom took out the surveillance camera to look at Lillian in the exam hall. Lillian was full of fear and confusion. At this time, the light on the medal went out again. It seemed that Lillian's test scores had dropped again. However, her mom was about to explode. How would a vain mom deal with Lillian? Would she eliminate Lillian? In this country, students were eliminated if they failed a test to motivate her daughter. Lillian's mom took her to the slums. There were mountains of garbage here. Everyone was doing the dirtiest and most tiring manual labor. Lillian's mom told Lillian, if she didn't work hard, she'd have to live in a place like this. But Lillian didn't care. She was glad she was a girl. She did not need to do hard labor. She was going to be a mom after the embryo transfer. She would let her children study hard, so that they could live in the villa. Looking at her daughter, who showed no desire for improvement, Lillian's mom was disappointed and angry at her. How can a mother struggling with her studies expect to raise an outstanding child? Lillian didn't care. I can hire a tutor for him. Lillian's mom was so angry. She was speechless. How can you afford a tutor in the slums? You'll never get ahead in life. Her daughter finally got the message. No one wanted to live in a dump, so she went home and studied hard, but her abilities were limited. Her grades never improved. Perhaps it was because of the overwhelming academic pressure. The always well-behaved Lillian contradicted her teacher during class. I had never seen such a naughty student. Lillian started causing trouble in class. She threw her textbook on the desk. When the teacher reprimanded her, she stood up and confronted the teacher, expressing annoyance with the class. The teacher chose not to argue with her. When she was cleaning up, she made a mess on purpose. When the teacher tried to discipline her, she ran to the rooftop, climbed onto the railing, and seemed ready to jump. Fortunately, Lillian's mom appeared in time. Her gentle tone persuaded Lillian to stop, preventing the tragedy. Back home, Lillian became obedient again. She carefully asked her mom if she was satisfied with her performance. It turned out that everything was Lillian's mom's plan. As long as Lillian pretended to have ADHD, she could avoid the upcoming assessment exams and wouldn't have to live in a cage. However, The diagnosis of ADHD took 6 months. This mom was too malicious. Lillian's mom handed Lillian a utility knife and told her to cut her classmates' presents. At her birthday party the next day, Lillian didn't want to follow through, but considering her poor grades and the threat of living in a cage, she reluctantly agreed. At the birthday party the next day, observing the enthusiastic classmates, the kind-hearted Lillian couldn't bear to cut the gifts from her classmates. She quietly put down the knife in her hand. Lillian's mom witnessed the entire scene and angrily questioned Lillian about why she didn't follow her instructions. Lillian begged her mom not to make her pretend to have ADHD. She promised to study hard, but Lillian's mom had already lost confidence in her. She had been hiring the best tutor for Lillian, but Lillian's grades kept dropping. Now she could not even score 30 points. Lillian's mom was hysterical and angry. "I will never live in a cage." Lillian blamed herself for not being good enough and causing her mom to face eviction from the villa area. She unintentionally noticed the key given to her by Mrs. Johnson. Recalling that Mrs. Johnson mentioned the key could save her, she handed it to her mom. Seeing the key, her mom seemed contemplative. It turned out that this key was a gift from Lillian's brother to Lillian's mom. This mother killed her son. Her son was very fond of carpentry. He made a wooden house as a gift for his mom, but his mom said he shouldn't waste any more time on carpentry. All she wanted was a gold medal. The son was deeply disappointed, and as a result, he got into a car accident and tragically passed away. But the truth was horrible. The next morning, Lillian's mom changed her mind. She decided to give Lillian another chance. If her grades still showed no improvement, she would continue to pretend to have ADHD. Lillian began to study hard. That day, Mrs. Johnson found Lillian again. She told Lillian that her brother didn't die in a car accident. He was killed by Lillian's mom. Also, after being diagnosed with ADHD, one would not receive improvement, but be deemed defective embryos and face elimination. Lillian was devastated. How could her loving mother harm her brother and contemplate eliminating her as well? To find the answer, Lillian went to the slums. She found the driver who killed her brother. The driver told her that when her brother suddenly ran under the wheel of a truck, he couldn't brake in time. That was why he killed him. The mother actually killed her son. Lillian knew the truth about her brother's death. Her mom put too much pressure on her brother. He had to come in first in all the exams, and he killed himself. Afterwards, Lillian's mom found the driver's mom. She got the driver to admit that he killed her brother. The truth was like a bolt from the blue. She was so devastated that she didn't care about the exams. The light on Lillian's mom's medal went out again. Lillian asked her classmate, Zachary, for confirmation. "Is it true that improvement means being eliminated?" Zachary replied, "Yes." Lillian went to the slums. Zachary's mom took her to Paradise and told her, if a child's embryo is destroyed because it's defective, the mother could get a new embryo. If it's destroyed because of poor grades, it means the mother has failed in her duty to educate. So, she can't get a new embryo. In other words, there is no chance to turn over a new leaf. Lillian finally realized the reason why her mom made her pretend to have ADHD. She couldn't accept the truth. She fainted. In this country, if children perform poorly in exams, they would face elimination by the government. Lillian, an underachiever, escaped to a paradise. The children here lived freely. They did not have to worry about their studies. They did what they did best. Initially, these children were to be eliminated. Now, they live happily ever after. The person who saved them was Mrs. Johnson. Mrs. Johnson also wished for Lillian to stay, but Lillian left a letter and left. She still had some illusions about her mom. She came home. She begged her mom to comb her hair again. Her mom gently combed her hair. Lillian choked up and asked her mom, "Do you love me?" She promised to work hard to improve her grades. Lillian's mom asked Lillian, "Do you love me?" Lillian answered, "Yes." Lillian's mom replied, "It's enough." Her eyes were firm, and she had made up her mind. Heartbroken, Lillian hid in the bathroom and cried. Suddenly, she felt weak. She climbed out of the bathroom with difficulty. Soon, she was sent to the hospital. It was carbon monoxide poisoning. Lillian's mom deliberately revealed to the doctor that Lillian has ADHD and tried to kill herself before. Since Lillian's mom was a gold medal mother figure, no one suspected her. Lillian knew she was about to be eliminated. This country aimed to eliminate children with defects. When the daughter's academic performance was deemed inadequate, the mother decided to eliminate her daughter, ensuring she won't end up in the slums. The mother instructed her daughter to pretend to have ADHD, to not pay attention during exams, and even to simulate jumping off a building. As expected, everyone believed that Lillian had ADHD. In the end, Lillian was sent to be eliminated. A tear crossed her cheek. She couldn't get the love she wanted after all. She was just like her brother, a tool for their mom to live in the villa area. Soon, Lillian's mom acquired a new embryo, but when she woke up, she found herself in Mrs. Johnson's paradise. Mrs. Johnson blamed her for killing her son and eliminated Lillian, but Lillian's mom didn't recognize her mistakes. She told Mrs. Johnson that kids like Lillian, who did not get good grades, would be eliminated in the end. She's just helping her out. Seeing that Lillian's mom was hopeless, Mrs. Johnson told her that the new embryo was the truck driver's child. This child would be just like Lillian. He's not a good student. Lillian's mom didn't believe it. Lillian's mom reported Mrs. Johnson's paradise. Those children who should have been eliminated were also arrested. Lillian's mom transformed again, advocating her educational philosophy. As she claimed, her happiness was essential for the children's happiness. Everything she did was for her happiness. End of the movie. The film is titled On Children. I recommend everyone to watch the original movie. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye.